get this shared to all of the pages so that everybody can come in if they want. Nothing going on though. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Now I can't type. There we go. Sometimes this keyboard just decides it's not going to keep up with my typing, which is very frustrating to anyone who has to do that. Try to type when it's playing catch up every time you type a few words or letters. Okay, well, there we go. AI, I can't even. All right, well, never mind. I'm not gonna share it then. That's just how it goes. All right, looks like I am up here. I've got it so I can see the comments. And we'll go ahead and do a quick little daily update here. Again, nothing going on today. No active or bad weather coming, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. But did just want to talk about what we will see for the next couple of days and show kind of some of what happened yesterday at least. With that strong storm moving through the area. So we'll go ahead and take a look here. You can see the backdrop change from yesterday's lightning storms to a little bit of blue sky peeking through, because I imagine, while I actually didn't look at any of our cameras just yet, it's good to see that it is what I expected to see, as we're starting to see at least a few breaks in the cloud cover, and eventually we'll see quite a bit of sun. So for today, the clouds starting to clear are your weather headlines. Damp and gray to start with for today. So it may look like it's about to storm as you look outside with those low gray clouds, or at least if you looked out much earlier, but things are starting to clear up nicely. Skies begin to open up, which we're already seeing happening now, and we'll see throughout the rest of the day, eventually leading to I would say by sunset, almost completely clear, if not completely clear skies, and that will lead us to nothing but sun for tomorrow. A very nice Wednesday for you, with about the lowest humidity of the week. Still not going to be all that low, so not a return to the early spring type dry air weather that we have, but definitely seeing better conditions than what we had at any point last week. So let's go ahead and move on here. There's Ashley Rose. She's in here. Good sunny morning. Not yet, but it will be. Sunny afternoon, we'll say. So right now you can see that. South Central Regional Medical Center looking nice and gray with those low clouds. Again, not expecting any rain or anything to continue today outside of a very iffy shower on the extreme southeastern end of the area, like George County kind of we're talking here, almost into Alabama, because that's where everything is popping up, and it's just not out of the question that one comes close enough that somebody who can hear me will feel rain and then say that I didn't say that it was going to rain, and then I was wrong about everything else all day long. So just to go ahead and get that out of the way, we could see at least that out there, but everything else is clearing, though it does, again, it does not look like it here at Circle C Tractor in Waynesboro, where things got very rainy yesterday, getting upwards of 3 inches. Pretty much everybody across the board got 3 or more inches. A few areas got a little less. On average, it came out to about 3.5, I would say, over the last 36 hours, which really includes just the last 24 plus a little bit more. Then as we take a look here at Columbia, you can see another one of those areas that in the last 24 hours still getting over 1.5 inches, and that just tells you how much fell so quickly, because just while we were in the middle of our sunrise show, which is from 5 to 7 in the morning, that was upwards of 3 inches, just barely under that. So that tells you about 1.5 inches fell in just a couple of hours, which can really pile up, and why we were talking about the potential for small-scale flooding issues, especially in areas of poor drainage. And if you've lived somewhere for a while, you know where those areas are. And they may still have lingering issues this morning, but things will dry up nicely. You can already see the parking lot here at Walt Massey Ford, still damp, but starting to look a little bit better as things warm up to 75. And again, that's not with much sunshine out there, though a couple of the cameras are showing it out there. But speaking of Columbia, this is a picture sent to us by a viewer, Monica Lane from Columbia. This right along Good Hope Road, showing some of that tree damage coming down. You can see both of these trees leaning the same way. So if I was a storm surveyor, I would say that these were done by straight line winds, which is what primarily did a lot of our damage yesterday. We still, I'm going to check the survey reports and see if they made a determination on whether or not we actually had any tornadoes pop up yesterday morning. It's certainly possible. I would say from what I could see using radar and velocity and all that, that it wasn't ever clear whether there was one or not, but it could go either way. So it would not surprise me if we did have some short-lived ones, maybe even one that just kind of, drill bit kind of thing where it just went up and down and all that. There's another one from Monica showing a tree falling over this fence and very close to a house, but thankfully doesn't look like it struck it there, also along Good Hope Road. This one, though, showing Angela Bass in North Marion County, a little bit further north than Columbia, showing a tree actually is hitting a house, which is unfortunate. And we saw some of that in the report wording yesterday that at least 3 or 4 that I had seen had struck homes, and in fact, one trapping somebody inside it. I'm not certain that it's this one, but certainly possible, I suppose, that it could have been. And then here's one from David Pippin in Turnerville showing just trees falling down very near a property. You can just kind of barely see a shed or something in the background there. Looks like it made it, but again, all these trees were coming down all across the area yesterday. And so did the rain. So here's the last 48 hours. You can see lots of red there. That's anywhere over 4 inches. Down on the coastline, things got a little bit rainier, upwards of 6 to 8 to even a few areas where I would say could be edging towards 10 there, though I imagine it's a lot closer to 7 on average across there. So a lot of rain falling yesterday for the entire Pine Belt. From one corner down to Pearl River, or about halfway through Pearl River, so I can just kind of get a nice square there, going about 3.5 inches, as I said earlier. So that can cause some problems. As far as the storm reports yesterday, which they've added some, they've subtracted some, these are starting to get the official ones that'll be left for the rest of perpetuity as they look back on this event. But right now, still no tornado reports in there. We do have 29 thunderstorm wind damage reports and 2 thunderstorm wind gust reports, which I'm actually not certain of the difference there. Maybe just a huge gust. There's some criteria for that, which I'll have to look up to know going forward. As we look at the southeast here, you see a lot of cloud cover still in the area, but starting to thin, especially here over the last few hours. All the rain and storms has pushed off towards the east into Florida, where it is causing some issues. Looks like some tornado watches there just south of Jacksonville in the I guess that's just a little south of the Big Bend area, but starting to move into central Florida. So for us, you can already see the clouds starting to break up, but as we saw on all of our cameras, they are very noticeably still gray out there and a bit dreary looking, but they will clear as we head through the rest of the day. You see a bunch of blips trying to pop up here on the radar. Again, I don't expect any rain, but on the extreme southeastern end of the area, wouldn't surprise me. Here's one trying to put one in Waynesboro. I think this model's trying to overdo that, but we will see the clouds slowly give way there as we head into the afternoon. Then you see the night really clear up there, and that's going to allow us to see a lot of clear sky through the night, cool down as much as we can to about 62 in the Hattiesburg area, and that will very likely lead to some areas of patchy fog, as we'll be not right up against it, but pretty close to that dew point, and small scale features will start popping up at that point, and calm winds and areas that are protected from what little wind there will be. Not much at all is expected. Then we warm up under sunny skies all the way into the upper 80s for tomorrow. Wouldn't surprise me to see some areas closing in on 90. You can see Wiggins reporting that way, and Lucedale and Columbia right up there at 88 degrees as well. So pretty warm one there, but it does cool after that in the days ahead, especially Thursday and Friday, as you see cloud cover start to build right back, and rain on the back end of Thursday, taking us into a pretty rainy Friday. And that 82 is probably a bit high. It will likely end up in the 70s like we did yesterday, with all the rain cooled air spreading about, and it's just never really stopping for very long until the afternoon and evening. We ended up at 73, I think was our high for Hattiesburg there, but then it really warms up after that, and we also see the return of that humidity roller coaster. Wednesday's looking about the best day there, and then we start working our way up, and you see that kind of up and down there as we see little relative surges of humidity here or there. And especially as we head into next week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we're looking at a lot of sunshine and temperatures climbing into the 90s again. So that's like July weather once again there. As far as rain goes, it's a roller coaster again. Today is clearing. Tomorrow's nice and sunny. Thursday starts that way and then gets cloudy on us, and then there's about a 10% chance of rain on the back end of the day. And then you see Friday basically a wash with, right now there's a little bit too far away for specific details, but Friday does look like another day that severe weather is at least possible. It wouldn't surprise me if we just start with a level 2 risk, and then we'll see if it gets upgraded from there as details begin to emerge in the structure or expected structure of the storm. So again, I wasn't going to take too much of your time today. I don't like to, and there's nothing really interesting or potentially dangerous going on, so that nobody gets confused about that. It's another nice day. We'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day. This is probably a bit too much clearing there, but I wanted to show you where we could kind of end up. Most of the day we'll end up with at least a few clouds still out there. Then as we head into Wednesday, again, it's pretty much nothing but sunshine, starting with some areas of patchy fog with our coolest mornings there in the low 60s before we start seeing those clouds return, and a big jump from Thursday morning to Friday morning as we see that surge of moisture ahead of a front, and that's what's going to bring us our potentially stormy Friday, where it's pretty much going to rain or storm from start to finish, similar in at least time and amount to what we saw yesterday. Again, that's not to say that we'll see the same types of severe weather, if any at all, but we'll keep an eye on that and update you as needed. After that very stormy Friday, we may start Saturday with a few storms left in the area, but after that, even Saturday, the back end of it looks nice and at least partially sunny there, leading us into an appropriately named Sunday as the skies continue to clear, but again, that temperature starts going up and that humidity really doesn't drop all that much. So we're still seeing dew points in about the mid to upper 60s. That's more towards like early July type weather or very late June, with the temperatures climbing into the low 90s once again. So kind of a return to where we were. I have trouble with short-term time. Last week before that, where it was just pretty much summertime weather for a couple of days there. Looks like about where we'll be for at least part of next week. So that's all I got for you. I'll let you get back to your day. Once again, if you ever want to interact, and I did a lot of interacting with people yesterday, had a great time, and talked to a lot of people about the potential for storms, and why many people had questions as to why it seemed like they were a bit of a surprise as far as their intensity, which is absolutely true. We knew there would be storms, but to get that one that early was a bit on the surprising side. But of course, thunderstorms and severe weather will rarely be a surprise to us there. So you can go ahead and reach out to me. Facebook is Ryan Mahan, WDAM, the station call letters here. Twitter, which I just refuse to call it the other name, at Ryan Mahan, WX, all one word. And if you ever have like a weather-related question or anything like that, or just want to say hi sometimes, feel free. I don't always reply, but I try to at least get to any serious inquiry or anything like that as much as possible. So I will go ahead and let you go for the day, and hope you enjoy it and all the sunshine we'll see over the next 2 before those clouds come back and the rain as well by the end of the week.